What's up, guys? So I know I haven't posted in a while. It's been snowing and freezing outside for the past couple of weeks. And I can't really film videos because this heater here is super obnoxious. So I don't like working in 10-degree weather, so that's why I haven't posted in a little while. And I had a couple problems with my car. The battery was acting up on it, and then needed to change tires on it, and it's just been kind of a little bit chaotic these past couple of weeks. But anyway, regardless of that, I did do a couple things on the truck, and I was going to show you all that real quick. Put an update out there on what's going on with it. So as you can see, we got her up on the lift right now, and the front end is back on it. And I did fix that wire up at the top. I'll show you that later. It was the wire that powered the Holley ECU. I wanted to have that to where it was always connected to the battery, so it didn't lose any information or whatever. And but my cutoff switch would be on a separate switch. It's on the main power switch back here. Actually, now that I got on the lift, I can show you a little better of what's going on there. As you can see, that's our switch we got on the power side. It's right out here. It's got an off and on switch. But this wire here is a new wire that I put from my Holley ECU. That way it's always connected to the battery. And this switch should still shut the truck off, because although the Holley system has power, the ignition will be shut off whenever this switch is flipped, and therefore the truck should shut off. But regardless of that, right now what I currently got going on is my transmission is acting up, and I was gonna show you all that real quick, just what I'm doing right now. Yesterday I went out and I was gonna try to drive this thing because it was kind of a nice day yesterday, and we were just gonna do see how it does, you know, now that I got everything together and all. And when I put it in reverse, it would not back up the hill. So normally it has no problem with that, but this time felt like it was spinning, but I know it wasn't spinning, so I think the transmission was slipping in reverse. So we tried to back up, and it was revving like 3,500 RPM and it wasn't moving. So I knew something was wrong. It's not, never does that. Although we did just put a Lincoln locker, if that's what you want to call it, in the back of this rear end. This is a little rear end. This is an 8 1/4 rear end. So that's why I did it this rear end. I really don't care. We got that 8/8 sitting over there. It's going to go in this thing once we get the new transmission in it. But for right now, I just went ahead and welded this up because I'm tired of having one wheel pills all the time. I'd rather have it at least try to spin both, or you know, get a little better traction, because right now I can't really tune very good with it just spinning every time I give it gas. So that's what we already did that. And then as soon as I get this transmission deal lined out, we're gonna try to drive this thing, and maybe we can get some videos of that. We also fixed the issue with the transmission kickdown linkage here. Let me see if I can get a light up there so you can see what I'm talking about. Up here, see, we got a cable on it now. It used to have a rod. You can see that or not right there. And then we had a bracket. There's the bracket that we had to kind of make ourselves that holds this little black thing in there. And that way it holds this in place so it can extend and retract. We had a problem with that because it was pulling the whole cable instead of the rod inside the cable, and that's why you have to have something to hold it there. And everything worked out really good. It actually worked out perfect on throttle body because that's what it's made for. And down here, the transmissions are so similar that it worked out pretty good. We had to modify it a little bit because of my shifter I got in there. It's got some brackets and stuff that I'll show you on this transmission where it's supposed to be mounted. This is a 46RE. As you can see, this is a little thing I was talking about, a little bracket, and then this is a little black piece that holds it. And you can see it bolts right through here on this little bolt right here, and then up here it just runs up here so you can pull on the lever right there to adjust the pressure of your transmission based on your throttle, you know. But anyway, on mine it's set up different because I have this linkage right here in place of where that other one was at, because these have kind of the same ears on them. As you can see, it's where it's pulling at, and right here is where it's supposed to be mounted, that bracket. it won't work right there because I got all this other linkage deal going on. So over here, we went to the back side, and I don't know if you can see in there or not. Kind of tight in there, but right there you can see the bracket. It comes out and it goes over, and then it's pretty tight in there. You can't really see it too good, but that's where it comes out right here. And all we did is just take the bracket that was on that other transmission over there that I got for this. Actually, I don't know if I've mentioned that or not, but I got another transmission that's waiting to go on this thing. Well, I say that we need to build it. It's gonna need some stuff. I got to rebuild it and actually put better parts in it, because this thing, like I mentioned before, my goal is around 500 wheel horsepower, maybe a little more than that. I don't know, but we need a transmission. I was going to get one that's capable of 700 horse, so I think it was 700. I don't remember which kit I was planning on getting, but whichever one it was $3,500 for the rebuild, build it yourself kit. And I think it was a 700 horsepower version, and I wanted that just so we have some extra insurance, so the transmission's not going to be an issue. It'll just be me worried about the motor mostly. That's kind of how I want it to be, because I don't want to be, I'm trying to keep it where I can tune this thing pretty good, and obviously I don't want to be going through transmissions while I'm doing that. So I want to do it right the first time on the transmission, get that taken care of. Then all I got to worry about is the motor, and that'll all come back on me as far as the tuning and everything. I just want to make sure the transmission was going to be solid, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put a 46 RE in it, and I'm probably going to put a trans brake in it with the manual valve body, and that's kind of my plans with that. But for right now, what I'm doing is, since I don't have reverse in this transmission, I'm going to, hopefully I can tighten the bands up and it'll fix that problem. I'm really hoping that's what it is, but it's weird because it felt like it was pulling fine in first gear, because if I put it in first gear and I kind of whop the throttle a little bit, it spins the tire. So it's definitely hooking. Everything's grabbing good in first gear, but in reverse it's not engaging properly. So it's just sitting there slipping. And I'm pretty sure the reverse and the first gear band is the same on these. So I'm not really sure if this is going to help or not, but I'm going to give it a shot, and maybe it does. And I might take the valve body off of it and shoot some air up in there and see if that piston is leaking or not. I'll show you all that when I do that. But right now I need to run to town and get some gaskets and stuff. So we'll pick up there. I'll see you then. All right, guys, back from the store. I just went to Walmart to get some transmission fluid and got some gasket and a new filter for it at AutoZone. So before I move on any further, I wanted to show you all this. This is not a good sign, unfortunately, but this is the back of my filter. As you can see, there's some metal and some chunks of, I don't know what it is, might be clutch or something, or the band, I don't know, but it doesn't look too good. And over here on this magnet, you'll see you can see the pan, there's some crap right here, the metal it looks like, and there's like flakes of it, so that's not a good sign. And then over here we got, on the magnet, it's just caked, as you can see. There's quite a bit there. And for as many miles it's on this transmission, it shouldn't have that much. I'll show you this as well. On the valve body, I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's some, some metal and dirt and whatnot. So that's not really ideal. But also, something else I noticed, I want to show you all this, how to test if these are working, like if it's actually pushing on it or what's going on. First of all, this thing feels kind of loose. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to feel, but it does seem kind of loose to me, which I don't really know much about these transmissions, but this one seems a lot tighter. This one should be working right now. This one just seems like it goes way down. This is a reversed right here, reverse band. And it looks like, can't really see it on the video, but up in there it looks like there is some metal flakes. It looks like metal shavings up there. So hopefully it's not too bad. Like I said, I'm not keeping this transmission. This is going to be replaced, so hopefully it can just it'll keep running until I get ready for the other one to go in it. I'm hoping it'll be all right till then. I mean, I just need to get my reverse to where it'll back up. So that's kind of what I'm going for right now, because it seems to do okay going forward. It's just the reverse, and I think that's where a lot of this metal's come from. I think this band is slipping or something, and it's just eating it up. But real quick, I'll show you. There's a port on the back of this transmission that makes it kind of easy to test this. That way I've got to take the valve body off and whatnot. There's a port right here where my finger's at. Let's see if you can see that. Right there. I took the plug out already, but there's a plug that goes right here. And what you can do, hopefully I got enough air pressure for this. But ideally you want one that's got a tip on it, like a rubber tip. Mine doesn't, so I'm just using a rag. But let me see if I can do this with one hand real quick. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. I'll move the camera in just a second. All right. So I got it up in there, I believe. And you see, if you give it some air, I am low on pressure. But this thing was flopping quite a bit. I mean, it was coming pretty far down when I had some air pressure behind it. And honestly, I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'm gonna do some more research on it and see if I can figure out how much it's supposed to move, or how you're really supposed to do this. Obviously it's moving it, so I guess that's a good thing. But now that I've done that, I'm gonna do some research and see what the deal is. If there's anything I can do to fix this, or band-aid it, I guess, until I get the other transmission in it. I am going to go ahead and tighten these bands up. The other one I'm not too worried about. I'm probably just going to leave it alone, because like I said, it seems to go through the forward gears just fine. So that front band, I'm just not going to bother with it. But this one back here, I'm going to try to tighten it, and hopefully that'll do something. And I guess if it does, I'll show you all that. And anyway, but I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So I'll see you when I'm done with that. All right, guys. So I went ahead and I tightened this band up. I will say this thing went in very, very far. It was really loose before. As you can see now, it's got a lot more tension on it. I can move it, but I really got to pull on it pretty good. And then this one's kind of the same deal. It's a little bit loose, so I may actually tighten that up too. I mean, based on how that one felt. But I think this is right. We'll see. If it goes in reverse good and everything, I may come back and tighten this one as well. But because this one I did like what you're supposed to do. I think you're supposed to do anyway, what I could find on the internet. But I pulled this thing all the way in until it got kind of snug with a little wrench, and then I backed it off about 4 turns and then tightened this nut down. That should hold it right where it's supposed to be. It does feel a whole lot tighter, and this thing, I'm about out of air pressure now, but earlier I had about 60 psi and it seemed to push it a lot better. Like I said, it seemed like it's coming down about the same amount as this. This one's also got a pressure port for it. It's right there above it. I got a temperature sensor plugged in for it. I just plugged that back in, but that should work for that too. It just pops it down. There's a little piston in there, and it just pushes it in and out so I can tighten and retract the bands. And to adjust this one, it's actually on the outside of the transmission. So I don't know if you can see that up in there. See if I can get a light on it. It's right there. So that one's not as bad to get to. You don't gotta take the pan off and all that. So I'll probably come back and adjust that later if I feel like this one is better. Because this one is a little bit sloppier than this one. But anyways, so I'll get back to that once I get this thing all back together and I get it. I'll take a video while I'm trying to back it up, and I'll show y'all and see how it does, if it acts better or not. Also, now that I'm looking at it, it looks like there's some metal right here. Oh, never mind. That's just part of the... Well, no, it is. It is some metal right there. See that? That's another sign that I'm slipping. So I might go ahead and tighten that. What's up, guys? So I know the last time I had a video going, it was actually a couple months ago, and I was gonna finish that video, but I never got around to it. We did fix the problem with the truck not backing up, but as you can see, a lot's been done since then. I got the bumper back on it and the front end's back together and all that. I think that actually showed you that already. But the bumper I did put back on, and so in that video I didn't get to drive it. I wanted to kind of have a reaction to me driving it, you know, like my first reaction. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I did already drive this thing. But I still want to take y'all for a ride along in it. That'll actually be the next video because I don't want this video to go too long. But since you're already here, I do want to show you something else that you might find pretty cool. This is my friend's car. Well, he's my cousin's dad. So I figured I'd show you all this though. But this is a 64 Plymouth Fury. And it's a pretty cool looking car. It's got a 383 in it, 727. And an 8 3/4 in the back. This thing's pretty much stock. As you can see, it's got a new carburetor on it, Edelbrock carburetor, and a new air filter. But I mean, seriously, guys, this thing's pretty stock, and it's pretty crazy to see one in this good a shape. They actually got this thing out of a field, which is pretty surprising because you look underneath of it, it's a pretty solid car, and it's really good condition. But I figured y'all might find this pretty cool. I thought it was pretty interesting. I was just doing a few little things to it. He had some leaks, and I was gonna try to help him get that lined out. The transmission was leaking, and we put a new pan gasket on it, and there's another leak I'm gonna have to address. I'm not gonna go too far into that because we're not really concerned with that. Unless you guys are really interested in that, then I can show you. But it's kind of a maintenance type deal, kind of a repair, you know, nothing really modified or anything. But nonetheless, it is a cool car, and I figured y'all might like to see it. It does have the push button gear select, which is pretty neat. But yeah, so I'm not gonna go any farther with this video, but I will be posting a video soon. I know I said that last time and it took 3 months for the next video, but this time I promise, guys, I will be posting another video, and it'll be in the next couple of days or whatever, because I'm actually going to go film that video right now. So that'll wrap it up for this one, but please leave a like and comment and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm hoping I can make some more videos soon. It's getting close to drag racing season, and I really want to get this thing on the test and tune at my local drag strip, and I'm going to try to get a video of that. This will be the first time I've ever drag raced before there with that, guys, so bear with me. My reaction time is probably going to be terrible, and it's probably going to spin, so you know, we'll see what happens when we get there. Hopefully it doesn't wheel hop and break something. That's what I'm really hoping doesn't happen. But if it does, then we'll know. You know, I'm going to try to leave kind of soft because I do believe it's going to spin. I know they got prep there and it should be better, but in the next video you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, so that'll do it for this one. I'll catch y'all on the next one.